Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Express News. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Ministers in India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third consecutive government began assuming their office on Tuesday, a day after they were allocated portfolios. Modi 3.0 comprises 72 ministers in a sign of continuity. The top four portfolios remained unchanged, with Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Nirmala Sitharaman and Subramaniam Jaishankar retaining the Home, Defence, Finance and External Affairs portfolios. Ministers from the National Democratic Alliance partners in Prime Minister Modi's new cabinet include Ram Mohan Naidu as Minister of Civil Aviation and Chirag Paswan as Minister of Food Processing Industries. Subramaniam Jaishankar took charge as External Affairs Minister for a second consecutive term on Tuesday. A former diplomat, Jaishankar is a member of the Rajya Sabha, the upper chamber of India's legislature. Soon after assuming office, Minister Jaishankar outlined his approach to handling India's relations with China. He said that foreign policy in the third term of Prime Minister Narendra Modi will focus on finding a solution to the border issue with China. BJP leader Amit Shah took charge as Home Minister in the new government, a position he had held in the previous Modi government. Shah also took charge as Minister of Cooperation. Former BJP President JP Nadda took charge as Health Minister in the new Modi cabinet. He also took charge as the Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Four-time Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan took charge as Minister of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare. Former Chief Minister of Haryana Manohar Lal Khattar assumed charge as Power Minister. He has been given charge of two ministries in the Narendra Modi-led cabinet, that of Power and Housing and Urban Affairs. BJP leader Giriraj Singh took charge as Minister of Textiles. He was welcomed into the minister's chamber by Piyush Goyal, who held the portfolio in the previous government. Jitendra Singh assumed office as Minister of State, independent charge of the Ministry of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences on Tuesday. L. Murugan retained his previous portfolio of a Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting. N. Chandrababu Naidu has been chosen as the new Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh by lawmakers of his Telugu Desam party as well as legislators of the National Democratic Alliance allies, the BJP and the Janasena. He will take oath as Chief Minister on Wednesday. Mohan Charan Majhi will be the first BJP Chief Minister of Odisha. He'll be sworn in on the 12th of June. Majhi was selected at a BJP legislature party meeting attended by Rajnath Singh and Bhupendra Yadav as observers. India's top court on Tuesday issued a notice to the National Testing Agency seeking a response on alleged irregularities in the annual nationwide examination for students wanting to pursue a degree in medicine. Amid a water crisis in India's capital, New Delhi, Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena spoke to the Chief Minister of the neighbouring state of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, who promised to bail Delhi out of the crisis even as a heat wave sweeps the region. In the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, the state government approved 41 proposals on Tuesday, including 26 for the Water Resources Department and 26 projects in the Bundelkhand region. A national investigation agency team reached Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district following a terror attack on a passenger bus. The team is coordinating with the police to probe the incident, which left 9 people dead and several injured. The 14th edition of the Indo-Pacific Geo-Intelligence Forum is on in New Delhi. The two-day event was inaugurated by a former Minister, General V.K. Singh. Protests in the Baluda Bazar district of the central Indian state of Chhattisgarh turned violent as government officers were attacked, resulting in the destruction of documents and vehicles. A late sell-off in equities saw the Indian benchmark indices erase the gains and end on a flat note on Tuesday. The BSE Sensex hit a high of 76,861 but ended with a loss of 33 points at 76,457. The NSE Nifty 50 touched a high of 23,389, but the index finally settled at 23,265, up 6 points. Gold futures maturing on 5th August stood at 71,215 rupees or $852 per 10 grams on the Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on 5th July stood at 88,591 rupees or $1,060 per kilogram on the MCX. The State Bank of India on Tuesday introduced SME digital business loans within 45 minutes for small and medium enterprises, waiving the need for financial statements for loans up to 5 million rupees or nearly $60,000. The initiative aims to accelerate the lendings to micro, small and medium enterprises. Oil prices declined on Tuesday as Brent crude futures dropped 13 cents to $81.5 per barrel, and the U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures slipped 7 cents to $77.67 per barrel. Asian futures indicated a mixed performance in equity trading on Tuesday after a quiet session on Wall Street as investors brace for this week's Federal Reserve decision and crucial inflation data. In Tokyo, the Nikkei 225 index was up 0.3% at 39,155.16 as an upward revision of Japan's economic data on Monday was well received, while continued weakness of the yen boosted exports. Hong Kong's Hang Seng sank 1.6% to 18,079.93, and the Shanghai Composite lost 0.9% to 3,022.96 after reopening from a public holiday. Markets remain cautious ahead of a report on inflation in China due out on Wednesday. On Monday, the S&P 500 rose 0.3% to 5,360.79, topping its all-time high set last week. The Nasdaq Composite also set a record after rising 0.3% to 17,192.53, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 0.2% to 38,868.04. Malawi's Vice President Saulos Klaus Chilima was declared dead by the country's President Lazarus Chakwera on Tuesday after his plane crashed in a dense forest with no survivors among the 9 on board. 4 U.S. educators from the Iowa University were injured in a stabbing incident at a public park in northeastern China's Jilin province on Tuesday. China's foreign ministry said that the stabbing incident was a random attack and would not impact normal people-to-people exchanges between China and the United States. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak unveiled his party's manifesto for the 4th July election, pledging cuts to national insurance, expansion of child benefits, and income tax reduction for pensioners, and a promise to halve migration. European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen is working to form a coalition after the far-right gained ground in the European Union Parliament election, despite centrist parties maintaining their positions. With 400 seats, parties supporting von der Leyen in the 720-member EU Parliament have achieved a majority, albeit narrowly. She is expected to seek support from Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Tuesday urged private companies to invest in rebuilding Ukraine during the Ukraine Recovery Conference in Berlin, dedicated to mobilizing international support for post-war reconstruction. The U.S. government will lift a ban on allowing a controversial Ukrainian military unit for use U.S. weapons after a new analysis found no evidence of human rights violations by the unit. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with Iran's acting Foreign Minister Ali Bagheri Kani on the sidelines of a BRICS meeting. Lavrov said that the two countries will be able to sign a comprehensive cooperation agreement once Tehran resolves some mainly procedural issues. Russia and Belarus have commenced the second stage of joint nuclear drills aimed at safeguarding their sovereignty and territorial integrity amid potential war threats. Israel's military on Tuesday confirmed that 4 of its soldiers were killed in an explosion inside a building in Rafah, southern Gaza. The Israeli Air Force conducted airstrikes on more than 35 targets in the Gaza Strip, including buildings used by terror groups, weapon depots and terrorist cells. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Israel's opposition party leader Yair Lapid in Tel Aviv to discuss Washington, D.C.'s ceasefire proposal on Tuesday. Israeli protesters gathered outside a Tel Aviv hotel on Tuesday, where U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was meeting Israeli officials and families of hostages. The White House said that Israel has accepted President Biden's proposed ceasefire deal, although Israeli officials have not formally announced it yet. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Tuesday called for all parties to the Israel-Hamas conflict to reach an agreement on a ceasefire plan outlined by U.S. President Joe Biden. U.S. government agencies announced the reopening of a full commercial maritime transit through the port of Baltimore after removing 50,000 tons of debris from the collapse of a bridge. Businessperson and investor Elon Musk threatened to ban the use of Apple devices at his companies if Apple integrates OpenAI into its operating systems, citing security concerns. Singapore Airlines has offered a compensation to the passengers affected by turbulence that claimed 1 life and injured many on board. Taiwan's officials caught a former Chinese Navy captain for illegally entering the Taipei harbor, suspecting him of probing the island's defenses, highlighting China's gray zone warfare tactics. Brazil continues to battle its worst wetland fires since 2020. Experts are concerned as the wildfire season has started much earlier this year. China's National Meteorological Center has issued an orange alert for record-breaking high temperatures in the northern provinces for the 4th consecutive day of a continuous heat wave. Flood recovery efforts are underway in Vietnam after it was hit by landslide and flooding. Traffic remained disrupted. The flood situation in India's northeastern state of Assam has improved in the past few days. The number of flood-affected villages has come down to 62 in 6 districts. Volunteers in the town of Forel in Switzerland are using drones to locate unattended fawns in agricultural fields. Does leave their fawns in the field while they search for food, which leaves them susceptible to getting killed by agricultural machinery. The Humboldt penguin population has dramatically decreased in areas along the central coast of Chile, putting them on the path to extinction. Paulina Arce, a veterinarian who specializes in penguins, says that penguin population on all the islands surveyed either decreased or remained the same. More than 1,000 exotic animals were killed in a fire that spread through an animal market in Thailand in the early hours of Tuesday. Firefighting teams rushed to the location to contain the blaze. A preliminary investigation showed electrical fault as the cause of fire. Russian volunteers are restoring a historic German church in the Russian city of Kaliningrad. The medieval parish church was damaged during World War II, after which it was left neglected until about a decade ago. A private dog club in the U.S. city of Los Angeles has become the talk of the town, where dogs and their owners socialize and enjoy high-end amenities. Dubbed as Soho House for Dogs, the private club was founded 2 years ago by two friends who wanted to create a clean and safe dog park in the U.S. city of Los Angeles. Chinese engineers have developed humanoid robots with a focus on enhancing facial expressions and emotions. The engineers believe that humanoid robots will have a bigger role to play in healthcare and education industries. The Da Nang International Fireworks Festival 2024 has kicked off in Vietnam. The Hue International Arts Festival Week 2024 opened at the Kien Trung Palace at Hue City in Vietnam. A royal gastronomy event was held to introduce Hue's unique cuisine, where visitors enjoyed about 37 traditional dishes. Spectacular scale-shaped tidal bores have recently been captured along the Qiantang River in eastern China's Zhejiang province. The tides are formed by the rapid rise of tidal waters in the river, creating layer upon layer of undulating waves. Tens of horses decked out in colorful fittings and bells have taken part in the annual Chagu Chagu Umako Festival in northern Japan. People organized Chagu Chagu Horse Festival every year at the end of the rice planting season to thank the animals for their help. The Chinese have unearthed a classic treat for the Dragon Boat Festival Zhongzi, dating back more than 900 years. Zhongzi, known as sticky rice dumplings wrapped in a leaf, is a traditional delicacy that the Chinese people eat on the day of the Dragon Boat Festival. People from all walks of life played colorful pianos at New York City's Fosun Plaza in downtown Manhattan at a launch event for the Sing for Hope pianos. Each piano was created by a different artist and will be placed at various locations throughout New York City for 3 weeks. Anyone will be able to play them until the 30th of June. Britain's King Charles presented new colours to the Irish Guards at a ceremony held at Windsor Castle. The Eurovision Song Contest 2024 winner Nemo sang at designer Harry's presentation at London Fashion Week in an enormous white inflatable gown. The star cast of HBO's House of the Dragon, including Matt Smith and Olivia Cooke, graced the red carpet at the UK premiere of Season 2. The second season of the Game of Thrones prequel picks up just days after the first season, centering on the conflict between Team Green and Team Black. Voice artists of one of Disney and Pixar's most anticipated films, Inside Out 2, walked the world premiere carpet at Disney's renowned El Capitan Theatre on Hollywood Boulevard. Netflix has announced a new Agatha Christie adaptation titled The Seven Dials Mystery, starring Mia McKenna Bruce, Martin Freeman, and Helena Bonham Carter. A teaser of Oscar winner Adam Elliott's stop-motion film Memoir of a Snail has been released. U.S. actors Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are in talks to return for Practical Magic 2, a sequel to Warner Brothers' 1998 romantic fantasy. U.S. rapper Rick Ross is auctioning his exclusive collection of street and contemporary art, rare sneakers, designer wear, music memorabilia, and other prized possessions. The highly anticipated Peacemaker Season on 2 has added Picard actor Sol Rodriguez and The Office alumnus David Denman to play pivotal roles. The highly anticipated third installment of Rian Johnson's Knives Out franchise has officially commenced production. Fans were treated to a thrilling first look at the return of the beloved detective Benoit Blanc, portrayed by actor Daniel Craig. The Academy Museum at Los Angeles in the U.S. will host its 4th annual gala on 19th October. It will honor and celebrate the cinematic achievements of Paul Mescal, Rita Moreno, and Quentin Tarantino. The makers of Mirzapur, starring Pankaj Tripathi and Ali Fazal, on Tuesday dropped a teaser of Season 3 of the web series, which they announced will be out next month. The makers of Ajay Devgan and Tabu starrer Auron Mein Kahani Dum Tha are all set to unveil the official trailer on the 13th of June. The makers of an upcoming action thriller Kill, starring Lakshya, are all set to unveil the film's trailer on the 12th of June. Pakistan will face Canada in its third fixture of Group A in the T20 Men's Cricket World Cup on Tuesday. Pakistan is on the verge of getting knocked out of the tournament. The International Hockey Federation has awarded the organization of the next Men's Junior World Cup to India. The tournament will be played in December 2025. A 15-member Indian rifle and pistol team was announced by the National Rifle Association of India after a meeting of the Senior Selection Committee. Rohan Bopanna and Sumit Nagal secure the Paris Olympics quotas for India in tennis through their ATP rankings in the doubles and singles categories. Yannick Sinner created history as he became the first Italian #1 player in the latest PIF ATP rankings. The 22-year-old was presented with the ATP World #1 trophy. India's national football team will square off against Qatar in its crucial FIFA World Cup 2026 and the AFC Asian Cup 2027 preliminary joint qualification round 2 match in Doha on Tuesday. Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti denied that the Champions League winner would not play in next season's expanded Club World Cup, claiming that his comments were misinterpreted. 3 Valencia football fans were sentenced to 8 months in prison for a racist slur against Real Madrid player Vinicius Junior. The Netherlands' delight over an emphatic 4-0 win against Iceland turned into despair when it was announced that playmaker Frankie de Jong is out of the 2024 Euro Cup. The national teams of Chile and Paraguay trained hard this week ahead of their friendly match in the run-up to Copa America. And that's all for this edition of DD India Express News. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Express News.